ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। The Bhagavad Gita is like a yatra, a journey from deep tamas, chapter 1, to the height of Jyoti, sattva in chapter 18. So that is why we chant asatoma satgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma mritangamaya. So it takes us from darkness to light, from mrityu to amritam, and from tamas to sattva. So if you remember, how was Arjuna initially in the first chapter? Kripaya vishtaha ashrupurnaha, eyes filled with tears and overwhelmed with kripa. And there kripa is compassion, but which is misplaced, inappropriate. So there are more tears of self-pity. We can relate to that. No, tears of self-pity. Why? Because he is overwhelmed with shoka, sorrow, due to moha, unable to face his kshatriya dharma, which is to fight and lose the near and dear ones in the dharma yuddha, which is inevitable, which is imminent. That was the state. So what does Krishna do? Krishna has been very patiently guiding and empowering Arjuna chapter after chapter, from the second chapter up to this current chapter, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, eliminating the clouds of moha and increasing the sattva guna. So Krishna is guiding him how to go through the pravritti marga in life intelligently. And that is called Yoga Shastra, the disciplines of yoga. And eventually the pravritti marga will pave the way for nivritti marga, the path of renunciation, and the goal is Brahma Vidya, or the vision of Vedanta. So this is the the build-up in the Gita. Now, in the last session, we saw that Krishna had switched to the bhakti language. He said, Arjuna, you be matparaha, matchittaha, matvipashayaha, matparayanaha, madbhaktaha. That is, Arjuna, you be my devotee. You be the one whose goal is me, and goal and end is me, and whose mind is always devoted to me, and who is surrendered to me. So Arjuna, why are you worried about the consequences? You offer your swadharma unto Ishvaraha. So that was the main thing we saw in the last class, to surrender the consequences, the worry, the raga dveshas, the phala ichha unto Ishvara, and to simply perform your swadharma. And the swadharma is swabhavajam karma. So then Krishna says, you surrender. That shloka is very important. Sve sve karmanya bhirataha samsiddhim labate naraha swakarma nirata siddhim yatha vindati tachshinu. So by offering one's swakarma, one's swadharma unto Ishvara, one will gain siddhi. Siddhi is success in every way. Intermediate success in the form of a pure, stable mind free from the turbulence, and ultimately moksha prapti. So then the question came, surrender unto whom? If I'm going to do archana with my actions, Where is the altar? Where is Ishvara? So in a bhakti, initial bhakti, we do Laksharchana, Ashtotara, and we offer, the nama which we're going to do soon for the Guru. But here, whom do I offer the actions to? Where is the altar? Then Krishna said, Yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam sakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim pindati manavaha. So the altar is Ishvara, who is the all-pervading principle, whose order governs Srishti, Sthiti and Laya. And that Ishvara is not away from you. Spatially or time-wise, Bhagavan is never away from anyone. Why? Because he is seated in the hearts of all as that Sakshi Atma Tattvam. So you surrender unto that Atma Tattvam is Krishna's advice. No? Now we can see that how this is the highest bhakti. No? So initially when we go to a temple, Tirumala or, Chardham or anywhere, then we do pujas, we do, offer malas and kalyana seva, all kinds of different offerings are there. But most of them will be sakama bhakti. Yeah, there will be a sankalpa. No, that is the initial stage of bhakti that we offer it for a particular reason. For whatever, for family, for neighborhood, for the country, or for chitta shuddhi. That is also there. But here Krishna says, when your understanding is Ishvara is never away from me, all that is here is Ishvara, including the situation I am in. So the karmic situations which have manifested is Ishvara right here and now. So by performing my swadharma, doing what is expected of me, performing my duty, I am as good as doing archana to Ishvara. So Krishna says this is the highest bhakti. And that statement, all that is here is Ishvara, you would have seen it in all our Arshavidya Gurukulams, Anekati, Manjakudi, there is a plaque and then it is inscribed. So in Sanskritam we say Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So then I don't need to join any VIP queue and do advance booking for darshanam because Tattva darshanam is right here and now. So that is what Krishna is saying, that you offer your Kshatriya duty unto Ishvara, who is the cosmic order. Then Arjuna, you will be aligned with that cosmic purpose and intention. Don't listen to your ahankara. The ahankara will resist. The ahankara, will protest. Why me? This is too unpleasant. This is too difficult. I don't want all the struggle. But sarva bhavena, wholeheartedly, you offer what is to be done. And then what will happen? Krishna has said that also. Mat prasada sarva durgani tarishyasi. You will cross over all the difficulties and obstacles in life, by my prasada. And you will gain that param avyayam shashvadam padam, that ultimate goal. And that is moksha prapti or peace and freedom. Now, this means that even in our life, we all face war-like situations, is it not? Our prarabdha has unfolded and will continue to unfold difficult situations where even we want to run away. We want to escape. Sometimes it's a case of family court disputes or difficult parenting or losses in business. We are in debt or loan and there's worry, or some illness, threatening our own health. So we feel helpless. Yeah. So there again, Krishna says, what do generally people do? We will run here and there to solve the problem. Yeah, we will go to temples, do pariharas, and run to swamis and doctors. Yeah, we will try to eliminate it. We are trying to solve a problem. But Krishna says, a time comes when we have to learn to not solve the problem but dissolve it. Dissolve it is by viveka and vairagyam, examine, accept, and then we learn to relax and then go through that difficult war-like karmic situation and seeing Ishvara even in that. And so Krishna says, my prasada will be the internal peace. And so then Krishna has also said that Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha. Yeah, doing what is to be done by me in a certain situation is superior than eyeing or jumping to paradharma because my own swadharma is in keeping with my swabhava. So it will be sahajam. It will be light because it is known territory. Whereas if I jump to a paradharma, then I lose the opportunity for gaining the freedom from ragadveshas. Then a new set of parameters will be there, and then a new ragadveshas will be there. So it is better to do what is to be done. Even if it is sadosham and vigunaha, with defect and improperly performed. So then Krishna has said that then such a devoted contributor becomes a jitatma, vigataskriha, and asakta buddhihi, gains a stable, pure mind, and then by the pursuit of jnana yoga gains the ultimate freedom. Na shochati, na kamshati. Then after that, in the next, after giving this upadesha, Krishna says, Tameva Sharanam Gacha Sarva Bhavena Bharata. Then Krishna says, Arjuna, now I have taught you the entire Sarva Guhyatamam Gita Shastram, which is a rahasya. So Gita is, a rahasya, secret. Why? Because it is so subtle. And how many people are mumukshus? Minority. Yeah. So unless we have a willingness and a desire to approach the truth, then the Shastra will not open up for us. There will be no Guru Prapti. So Krishna says that I have told you, now you do Vimarsha. Yathechasi tatha Kuru. So then Krishna says, I'm not going to decide for you. I'm not going to spoon feed you, Arjuna. You have to take the decision. Yeah. So look at this good piece of advice for parents and teachers. So parents and teachers, what is our duty and role? To guide the children, to support them, to encourage them, yeah, but not to decide for them also. Sometimes, children take decisions and then they may or may not make mistakes, yeah. So that is their karmic situation. And so Arjuna is still sitting in the chariot. He has not picked up his Gandiva. And despite all the teachings, no? So then Krishna appears to give Arjuna a choice. Yathechasi tatha kuru means what? Arjuna, if you pick up your Gandiva and go ahead with the war, fine. But if you do not and retreat, fine. That is Krishna's attitude. Yeah, but Krishna is a Dirgadarshi, Trikaladarshi. Krishna knows very well what's going to happen. He knows that Arjuna has understood the teachings and will do what is expected of him. But still, what does Krishna do? In the 64th verse, we say, Bhuyaha Shrinu me paramam vachaha. Once again, Arjuna, because priyosi, priyaha asi, you are so dear to me. Yeah, I will tell you once more, I will tell you the teachings, the twofold teachings, Yoga Shastra and Brahma Vidya. Tataha Vakshyami Te Hita. 64. And then we have the next two shlokas. I said 65 and 66 are the most important shlokas, which are capsule shlokas. 65 is the capsule verse having the gist of entire Karma Yoga, and 66 is the capsule verse expressing the gist of Jnana Yoga or Sankhya. So let us see 65. We will chant it together. मन्मना भव मद्भक्तः मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे. Does it sound familiar? Chapter 7, 34th verse. No, the last verse. मन्मना भव मद्भक्तः मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि युक्त्वैवम् आत्मानं मत्परायणः. This is supposed to be the favorite verse of Adi Shankaracharya. Many people have their favorite verses. You can also put down yours in the chat box. So, Ramana Maharishi's favorite verse is Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarvabhuta Shayastitaha Aham Adischa Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Antameva Cha. And Lokamanya Tilak's favorite shloka कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोत्सकर्मणि. So you can see how which shloka appeals to which person depends on the personality. And so here, what does Krishna say here? Again, the language of bhakti is there. Arjuna, you become a manmanaha. Keep your mind on me, be devoted to me, fix your mind. Yeah, and then Mad Bhaktaha, be my devotee. Madhyaji, you offer all your actions dedicated to me. And Mam Namaskuru, prostrations and salutations unto me. Now, how to fix the mind on Bhagavan? Krishna has said this in chapter 6, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagena cha grihyate. When the mind deviates away, then you have a healthy distancing from all those distractions and then bring it back to your Ishtadevata or your mantra, or your inner Atma. So he's implying, Arjuna, even while fighting, you have to dedicate that action, Kshatriya Dharma, to me and think of me and not of the consequences, whether you're going to succeed or fail. Then Mad Bhakta is, be my devotee. Now, with what kind of devotee? Nishkama devotee. Yeah. So we have seen the 4 stages of devotion, no? Chaturvidha bhajante mam, ye janaha sukritinorjana. So initially we will all have sakama bhakti only, sankalpa, no? And for some finite goal. But here Krishna says, you be mad bhaktaha, you seek me. Yeah. You gain the knowledge of Ishvaraha. You discover me. That is mad bhaktaha. Then Madhyaji is be a contributor in the cosmic yajna and offer your actions unto me. So when we are doubtful of our actions, we can say Krishna Arpanam, Om Tat Sat, if we want to make it complete and auspicious. Yeah, then Mam Namaskuru. Namaskuru is you surrender, you do namaskaras unto me. Then what will happen? Second line. Mameva eshyasi. You will come to me. You will reach me. So reach me, do I have to go to Vaikuntha or Kailasa, anywhere to come to Ishvara? No, we have just seen Ishvara is all pervading principle. So here the seeking or the reaching, Gamanam, is figurative. It is not literally going anywhere. So it can only be Jnanena, by knowledge. By knowledge that Ishvara is present in my life in the form of my in-laws, my parents, my children, the karmic situations, neighbors, my boss, everything is Ishvara. So it changes the lens of our mind, the study of Vedanta. So Mameva Eshyasi. Then Krishna says, Satyam te pratijane priyaha asi me. And this is Satyam, that you will come to me. So this coming is the inward travel from ignorance to knowledge. Remember earlier Krishna has said, Jnani tu atmaiva me matam. So Jnani is not away from me at any time because the Jnanis have discovered me in their hearts. So then Krishna says that this will happen is Satyam. Yeah, and Pratijane. Pratijane means I promise, Arjuna. This is guaranteed. Why does Krishna say this? Because Priyaha Asi. You are my beloved. So Arjuna was Sakha, friend, and then now he is a beloved Shishya. And all Shishyas are very dear to the Guru. In fact, it is said that the previous birth, both of them were Narayana and Naraha. So 2 rishis in their previous birth, and they have incarnated again in this form, as a Guru and a Shishya. Of course, Krishna chose this to take this avatara, and it's not a real birth prompted by karma as it is for us. So this 65th shloka is all about karma yoga. Now we come to the next shloka, 66th, which I'm sure everybody knows. It is called the Charama shloka or the Sharanagati shloka, and it is the gist and capsule verse on Jnanam. Jnanam, or you can call it Sharanagati, or you can call it surrender. No? And the 66th shloka is also the final words of Upadesha by Bhagavan. So we will chant it now. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य माम् एकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां और त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. Now, where did Krishna start the teaching? Chapter 2, 11th shloka, which was Ashocyanan Vashochastvam Prajnavadanscha Bhashase Gatasuna Gatasuncha Nanashochanti Pandita. Now, this shloka ends with Ma Shuchaha. So, see, the entire Upadesha is all about Krishna saying, in the beginning, what did Krishna say? There can be no cause, no room for grief. Ashocyan. You are grieving for nothing, Arjuna. The wise people do not grieve. Panditaha nana shochanti. Now the same thing Krishna has defended his opening statement with Ma Shuchaha. You need not grieve about anything. So now this shloka is very famous, very popular. People chant it for aratis, but it can be very easily misinterpreted also, and it can be very confusing. So let us see the shloka. Sarvadharman parityajya is the first quarter. So Krishna says what? Arjuna, abandon all your dharmas. Yeah. Now this itself is very confusing because just now Krishna said, Swakarmana tamabhyarchya, you have to offer your swadharma unto Ishvara, the Ishvara as the Tattvam dwelling in your heart. Now it says, abandon all the dharmas. That is why, we have to rely upon commentaries, Bhashya of Adi Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya explains here, dharma is to be understood as karma. All karmas. And again, karma has to be understood by Papa karma and Punya karma. So all the karmas, renounce all the karmas. So then Shankaracharya explains here that how can one renounce karma? Krishna himself said, nahi kaschit kshanamapi jata tishtati akarmakrit. Nobody can remain without action even for a second. So how am I to understand this Upadesha? Renounce all the karmas, should I not fight the war? Arjuna may be thinking again with the escaping mentality. No. Again, we have to take the deeper figurative meaning. The figurative meaning is that where are all the karmas happening? Mind, body, sense organ. Right now, the voice box is making sound and your ears are receiving the sounds, and all the action is happening by the power of Maya in the Anatma bodies. Yeah, so the bodies, that is Sthula, Sukshma, physical body and the mind, they are transacting, they are doing Vyavahara, receiving data, responding. Yeah, but who am I? I am Akarta Abhokta Atma. So I am the actionless principle of awareness, Sakshi Drik, which is no doubt blessing all the action. It is empowering all the actions to take place. So Krishna is saying that those people who have Deha Abhimana, I am as good as this body and the mind, what will they think? Ahankara Vimudhatma Karta Hamiti Manyate. So the ahankara, I notion, will make me think I have achieved so much in life. I am teaching, I am listening, I did all this, I am going to achieve much more. So this is the I notion or ahankara. So then abandoning all dharmas or karmas can mean only one thing, giving up the notion that I do. Kartritva tyagaha. Again, figurative usage. So the jnanis, they all allow actions to happen. No? Ears will hear, eyes will see, and the body will go through the Sharira Yatra. When it's hungry, we offer the food, food is digested, yeah. But the jnanis will never think that I am doing. Actions are happening by the higher power of Ishvara, by the divine will. And I am an instrument, and that is how the karmas are renounced. Not literally, but figuratively. So that is why earlier on, if you remember chapter 4, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, we saw this. How to act based on knowledge. Yeah, enlightened actions. And Krishna gave so many examples, remember? King Janaka, Vasishtha, Vyasa Muni. Himself, Krishna says, we are all engaged intensely in action. Administrative duties are there, cosmic duties are there, Rishi duties. Rishis were all married also, they have their duties. But in the heart of hearts, they were all actionless, surrendered to Ishvara. They're watching the drama, the whole movie taking place. No? So that is the first quarter. Then the second quarter, when Krishna says, Mam ekam vraja. Now the word vraja means what? Come, approach, approach, vrajati. So approach me, Krishna says, Mam ekam sharanam vraja. You approach me. Now again, who is me? We have to be very clear. So is it Mr. Krishna? Is it Devaki Sutta, Radha Vallabha, Giridhari Gopala? No. So these are all, the leelas of when Krishna chose to appear in the Dwapara Yuga, right? But here the Mam is the Nirguna Parabrahma. So again, how to approach the Nirguna Parabrahma? Again, the figurative meaning has to be taken. So I can only approach it when it is already me. So owning up that Atma Tattvam, and dropping the notion, the ignorance that Ishvara is away from me. I have to go somewhere, to reach Ishvara. Yeah. And no doubt all our bhakti, traditions, we do go to temples and we do perform homas and yajnas and visit, punya kshetrams. Yeah. What for? Ishvara darshanam, no doubt. No. But that will give me the punyam. The punyam is a blessing. And that punyam will purify the mind for me to gain the reality of that ekaha advitiyaha paramatattvam. So I can have tattva darshanam right here in the temple of my heart. And that is the higher or highest bhakti. We have seen this also before. So this abandoning all the karmas, approaching Ishvara, it is all meant in a figurative way, inward, dropping the ignorance, the notions, notions that I am the Deha, notion that Ishvara is, away from me, time-wise, space-wise. No, Ishvara is as my very Atma Tattvam. So gaining knowledge of such an Ishvara, who is never away from me, time-wise or spatially, is to approach Ishvara. So, a study of Vedanta, whether it is Gita or Upanishads, is always a process of growing clarity. So, when we are very systematically, consistently attending, then it becomes more and more clear. Whom am I really worshipping? So, initially, when I'm on the Pravritti Marga, I'm following all the rituals, that the Vedas are advising. Then who is Ishvara? Karma Phaladata. So Ishvara will connect my efforts with the appropriate results. No? But then When the mind is matured and I become a mumukshu, then who is Ishvara? Ishvara is my own Atma, Jivatma. And that is where the Aikyam comes into place. No? Jiva Ishvara Aikya Jnanam for a mumukshu. But to become a mumukshu, I need a lot of punyam. I need the punyam of temple visits and pujas and punyam of gurus, to get me to that point, to that milestone. So that is the first line. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. And this ekam, this ekam, we have seen with the examples of space and akasha and light, prakasha, how Atma Chaitanyam is ekaha. There is only one consciousness, but there are infinite bodies, right? So, anekaha dehaha, but ekaha Atma. So, the vision is to understand the one which is illuminating, empowering the many, the infinite. And that is what is Satyam Mithya. So Mithya is Anatma and Satyam is Ekaha Atma. So this is the ultimate Sharanagati, this Aikya Jnanam, and we gain this Aikya Jnanam only by the triple sadhana of Jnana Yoga, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam. So listening to the scriptures for a length of time, dwelling upon it and owning up the vision. So when the Guru says Tattvamasi, what should my response be? Not Tattvamasi. Guru already knows it. I have to say Aham Brahmasmi. That's the response. So yes, I am Navadvare Pure Dehi Naiva Kurvan Nakarayan. I am the indwelling reality living in this 9-gated body city. I do nothing, nor do I cause any actions to happen. This is the understanding of a jnani. Now, what is the phalam? The next line of the shloka. Then look at the shloka again. Aham tva sarva papebhyah mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Aham tva sarva papebhyah mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Don't grieve, Arjuna. Future tense. Aham mokshayishyami. I will liberate you. I will release you. Release you from what? From all the papa karmas. Now, in the context of Vedanta, we have to include punyam also. We may think punyam will bring favorable situations. No, I don't want to be released from punyam. So, when we are going through a happy situation in life, favorable situation, everything is going well with the family, job, and children and all, do we think of Ishvara? Yes, in gratitude, right? But we don't consciously seek Ishvara. So when things are not well, then I receive some kicks and blows in life, then I pause, press the pause button, think, why is this happening to me? What is the truth? Where is Bhagavan? So that inquiry happens more in the case of Papa karmas, no? But both are inevitable for a jiva. Now, to experience both Papa and Punyam, do I not need a body? Yes? So, the human birth is a Mishritam Janma. Mishritam means you can't have pure Punyam or pure Papa. It will be mixed. So, that means what? I'm still bound in the cycle of karma. So, Krishna says, when you gain the knowledge of me as the Paramatattvam, then you will be released from both the golden chains of Punyam and the iron chains of Papa. Because that Atma Tattvam is beyond time, beyond space, beyond Papa and Punyam. Remember, this was the question young Nachiketa, 8-year-old Nachiketa asks Yama. Says, I want dharmat anyatra, adharmat anyatra. So you tell me, Yamadharmaraja, what is beyond dharma and adharma, beyond Papa and Punyam? That which is beyond past, present and future. That alone I want. I don't want all that you're giving me, temptations, long life, chariots, music and dance, celestials. No. Because even after the longest life, I have to face you. So here it's the same situation. when Krishna says Ma Shuchaha, is that moksha praptihi is to be freedom from the janma marana cycle. Yeah. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. And that can happen only by knowledge. Yeah. Let's chant this one more time. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. Adi Shankaracharya in his Bhajagovindam has sung this, no? Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadhita. Then after that, Ganga Jalalabakanika Pita Sakridapi Yena Murari Samarcha Kriyate Tasya Yamena na Charcha Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. So Adi Shankaracharya says, Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadhita, the one who even just listens to Gita casually or studies a little, or who has drunk a drop of Ganga, and who has worshipped Krishna Paramatma only once, Sakrit, then Tasya Kriyate Yamena na Charcha. Yama cannot approach that person, Lord Yama. That means what? The fear of Yama will go away. And the understanding will be there that I am free from both Janma and Maranam. So, I am free from the cycle of birth and death, or Papa, Punyam and Karma. Of course, we should not study Gita just a little bit. And Adi Shankaracharya means one has to study it properly as a serious student of Vedanta. So, Ma Shuchaha. So, Ma Shuchaha means do not grieve. There's a Tamil saying I read somewhere that people are sad due to different reasons. One person says, in my kanji, there is no salt. I don't have salt, so I'm sad. Another one says, paal illa shakra illa. In my milk, there's no sugar and I'm sad. Third one says, I have no shoes. Fourth says, I have a bed but no pillows. So, grief is universal, but it is a result of thought. When we hear the breaking news on television, we all are shocked first. We are not sad first. Grief is later. When we think about the families and what happened, then the grief is a result. So Krishna is pointing out that even grief comes and goes, agama payinaha, as the karma, as the joyous situations, but you gain that stable ground. Ekam vraja, mam ekam vraja. So that is all about the Sharanagati Tattvam. And then only this understanding will remove all the sorrow and you will be unaffected. That is why Upanishad says, Atmavit Shokam Tarati. Remember the story I've told? Narada Muni goes to Sanat Kumara and says, shoots out a list of vidyas, Preta Vidya, Bhuta Vidya, astronomy, Vyakaranam, all this. And yet, I'm sorrowful. Then the Muni, says that these are all amounting to zeros. Where is the one which will give value to the zeros? No, that is Adhyatma Vidya. Atmavit Shokam Tarati. You have gained lot of Aparavidya, but you have not come to Paravidya. And then there is a Samvada there also and comes in the Upanishad. Now, after this, this famous shloka. So 65 is the gist of Karma Yoga and 66 is the gist of Jnana Yoga. Now after this, Krishna is talking about, who we should not teach the Gita to. Yeah, so in 67, Krishna says, Idam te nata paskaya navaktaya kadachana nacha shushrusave vachyam nachamam yopya suyati. Arjuna, just because you are inspired and enthusiastic about the Gita, don't go and put it all over social media. Don't advertise it. And if we try to bring our colleagues and friends and family members to attend the classes, will it work? most likely it won't work. Many of my students tell me that, Amma, I'm trying to bring, but my sisters and brothers, they're all only shopping and going to movies. Because many people will be committed to karma kanda. They are in that stage of life, they're building their lives. They're getting settled, they're pursuing finite goals, they're not mumukshus. So Krishna says here that the one who lacks tapas is uh, a disciplined way of life. We've seen a lot about discipline regarding ahara, yajna, vak tapas, and all these we saw in the earlier chapters. If that is lacking in somebody, do not mention the Gita. No, Gita is not meant for those people. It will not be beneficial. Then Navaktaya, one who is not a bhakta, one is not bhakta also don't teach. Then who has no shushrusha. Shushrusha means the desire to listen. So if there is no willingness to listen to Gita or Upanishads also, we must not force the people. Buddhi bhedam na janayet. We saw earlier. There is one mantra which says, Ishvara anugrahat eva Advaita Vasana Pumsam, very famous. So Puja Swamiji would say, whenever we attend a Gita class, a Zoom session or Upanishad, we are encashing a punya check. So, and that punya is a very special punya which has to manifest for everyone. Yeah, and that punya, of course, comes from having lived a religious, devoted life of yajna, dhanam, tapas earlier. So here, and finally, Krishna says, and don't teach people who criticize me, criticize Bhagavan, and who think, what is all this about? It's only all theory, all about Krishna and Gita. It makes no sense. No, then again, it is like throwing seeds on a barren land. It will not bear fruit. In fact, Swamiji will say, your study, keep it private. Don't even mention it in front of many people that I'm studying Gita, Upanishads, you are inspired. But when people criticize you in the initial stages, even that little flame of vairagya will be blown away. So we have to become strong first, and be really focused and have the ultimate interest in all this. And then we can attempt to share with those who appear, somewhat willing. Now, in the 68th and 69th shloka, Krishna praises the Guru, the teacher of Gita, and says, Ya imam paramam guhyam madbhakteshvabhidhasyati. So the one who teaches the Gita and who shares the knowledge of the Gita is my Parama Bhakta. Why? Because such a teacher has understood that I am really in the hearts of all. And the teacher will try to convey that message and make all the students and devotees also get the vision. So the teachers are upholding the teaching tradition. Today we are receiving this knowledge that happened 5,000 years ago. How? By the grace of the Guru Parampara. Vyasa, Shankaracharya, Puja Swamiji, Paramathanandaji, all these gurus, the Jnana Ganga has been flowing through this lineage, which has started from Sadashiva. And I have reached. So because of this flow of Jnana Ganga, Krishna praises and says that there can be none dearer to me than the Guru who teaches Gita. There was never one in the past nor in the future. And such a teacher is Priyakrittamaha in all the people, because the Gurus are like my hands and feet. I can't be everywhere in all the countries. So, all the Gurus are spreading the sacred, secret, subtle Vidya, and hence they are the dearest one. Now, then what about the students? Krishna says they are also very dear to me. Yeah, in the next shloka, 17th shloka, Krishna says, those students and devotees who sincerely, with commitment and seriously study the Gita, they are doing Jnana Yajna. Aham ishtaha tena. I am worshipped by them. It is their offering. What are they offering, the students? We are all offering our ignorance in the fire of knowledge. So it's a symbolic jnana yajna. So they are also very dear to me. Those who are committed students, no, what will be the phalam? Jnana phalam. That will be the infinite jnana phalam of moksha prapti. But the next shloka, Krishna says, those who are casual students of the Gita, they are all Shraddhavan, they have Shraddha, but they are not very serious about gaining this knowledge. They may be driving to work and listening to Gita, yeah, and off and on. And so, what is their fate? Krishna says they will attain Shubham Lokan. They will get Swarga Lokas. No? And Shankaracharya mentions that the Gita has such an immense merit that even if you are a casual student of the Bhagavad Gita, you will get the phalam which is normally got by Somajit Yaga and Vishwajit Yaga. Massive rituals they do. The phalam is when you study the Gita. But what is the difference between the two? The serious, committed student of the Gita gets the gold prize, Moksha Prapti. And the casual student will get the bronze prize or consolation. Because when you go to Swargaloka, is it not a break? Shine punye punarapi marte lokam vishanti. So when that break is over, when the punyam has been exhausted, one has to return and continue the journey. Hopefully, and only possible in a Manushya Janma. So these are two levels of students. Then in the 72nd shloka, what does Krishna say here? Now Krishna comes to Arjuna and says, Arjuna, what about you? Have you been a serious student or a casual student? No? Ekagrena chetasa tvaya, he partha, shrutam. Have you heard with a one-pointed mind? What is your state now? Has your moha been gone, destroyed now, O Dhananjaya? That is a question Krishna puts in the 72nd verse. Then in the finally, Arjuna speaks up. And you can see from his response how the entire teaching of Bhagavan has impacted his mind and brought him to a state of ultimate clarity. And that is the 73rd shloka, which we will chant. Arjuna uvacha nashto moha smritirlabdha tvat prasadan mayachita stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Now, what does Arjuna say? Arjuna has been a very serious student. He has not missed even one class. He never gave any excuses. Yeah, he's right there. And by the way, Arjuna is a offline student. Who is the online student? Sanjay. Sanjay. We'll come to Sanjay in a short while, no? And there is a third student listening to the Samvada, Krishna Arjuna Samvada, and that is Anjaneya, Hanumanji. If you remember in the first chapter, one of the names for Arjuna is Kapithvajaha. Kapithvaja is those chariots. Every chariot has a flag, and on the flag, Hanumanji has assumed a subtle form. And it is as though Hanumanji chose to bless the whole, the war. But he was sleeping most of the time. And when asked, Arjuna, does it not interest you? This is okay, Kurukshetra, but the real Yuddha is Rama Ravana Yuddha. You should have seen that Yuddha in the earlier Yuga, Treta Yuga. Now and then I do open my eyes. So whenever there was a very intense situation like Abhimanyu, how cruelly he met his fate. No, that time Hanumanji woke up and wanted to somehow bless the situation. Otherwise, he said it was not as thrilling as the Ravana Rama Yuddha. So these were the three students. No, so Arjuna has been very patiently listening and the rajas has come to his mind, the tamas is driven off. But now here we see that he has reached the height of sattva. Sthitaha asmi, he says. Sthitaha asmi means now I have a firm and clear, stable mind. We can imagine that he even stood up. Sthitaha asmi. Gata sandehaha. Gone are my doubts and my delusion. Moha is gone. What is the doubt gone for Arjuna? The deha abhimana, the raga dvesha is gone. So when we have the notion that I am this body and mind, then there will be attachment and raga dvesha. Now he says, Krishna, you taught all these verses in chapter 2. Veda vinashinam nityam ya enam ajam avyayam katham sapurusha partha kam ghatayati hantikam. So I have understood Atma na hanti na hanyate. Atma cannot kill, nor can the Atma Bhisha Drona be killed. I have also understood what Navadvare Pure Dehi. I am the actionless Atma and I am an instrument in the hands of the divine will. So, what is to happen will happen through me. It's like, the phone cannot say, I hear the conversation. All the phones do hear. It is the employer, the one who uses the instrument, is hearing. So, when there is no Deha Abhimana, Arjuna has now got the cosmic angle, the big picture is clear to him, and he says, Tvat Maya, He Achyuta. Oh Krishna, it is all because of your anugraha that I have gained this knowledge and my moha is nashtaha, has gone. Smritihi labdha means I have gained the vision and the understanding. It is by your prasada alone. So that is why it is said, the Guru's anugraha. Where is the Guru's anugraha? It is not by touch or, the Guru will bless by touching or giving a mantra. Real anugraha is the teaching. If you connect to the Guru Parampara, if we are consistent in following the teaching, then the Guru's grace will flow to the student in the form of clarity in the mind. Now, Krishna has completed the Upadesha and become silent, and Arjuna also has, confessed that he's understood everything. Then final, what does Arjuna say? Karishe vachanam tava. I will do as you say, which means Arjuna is going to fight the Kurukshetra battle and win it for the Pandavas. Now there is silence. Krishna must be feeling very happy. My efforts did not go waste. Now Arjuna has really surrendered and is open to performing his Swadharma. So Krishna must be thinking it's time to get on with the war. The conches have been blown, but we paused for this Upadesha, right? And it is said that the whole Samvada, Krishna Arjuna Samvada, maybe took 2.5 hours. And everything else kind of froze. So Krishna would say that now I have come to be Parthasarathi, let us get on and go ahead. And Arjuna also must have picked up the Gandiva getting ready. So now the camera shifts to Hastinapura, right? Remember the first verse. Sanjaya is narrating the entire Krishna Arjuna Samvada to the blind king Dhritarashtra, right? Who is Sanjaya? The minister. The minister, and who has always told, oh Dhritarashtra, do not, encourage the war. You are blinded by Putra Moha. In fact, Dhritarashtra is considered to be the cause of the war. But of course, Dhritarashtra does not listen. And so the war did happen. Then what happened on the 10th day? Bhishma fell. Bhishma got wounded. Then, when the news reaches the palace, Hastinapura, then Dhritarashtra calls Sanjaya and says, Sanjaya, now he begins to shake because Bhishma gone means there is a reason to worry. Then he says, Sanjaya, what happened on Kurukshetra? So it's a flashback. So Sanjaya begins to narrate the events from day 1, day 2, day 3. And then the question, the very first verse in the Gita is, धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुत्सवः मामका पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत Sanjaya. What are they all doing on the whole narration? Then even Sanjaya's narration to Dhritarashtra is within a narration. Narration between a sage Vaishampayana to Janmajaya. Janmajaya is the son of Parikshit, and Parikshit is the son of Abhimanyu, and Abhimanyu is the son of Arjuna. And all that comes in the Bhagavatam also. So now the last five shlokas are expressing Sanjaya's wonder at everything, at the whole. So Sanjaya is that, online Zoom student. He's connecting from Hastinapura, and he's experienced everything, all the dialogues and all the yoga after yoga, and then also the Vishwarupa Darshanam. So now Sanjaya expresses his gratitude and wonder. And he says, O Rajan, Dhritarashtra is called the king here. I got to listen to this Adbhutam Samvadam. Awesome, wonderful dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna thanks to Vyasacharya. Remember, Vyasacharya blessed Sanjaya with the Divya Chakshu so that he becomes a war reporter. So he has followed everything and he has also gained everything. See how for a mature mind, how the understanding comes, no? Because of their surrender. And so he says, Roma Harshanam, goosebumps I have. And those two Mahatmas, Krishna and Arjuna, how they had this conversation. And Yogeshwara, Krishna, I received the teaching Sakshat. We are all receiving the teachings from a Guru Parampara. But not so Arjuna and Sanjaya. Sakshat Narayanena. They are in the presence of Narayana, who has initiated the whole parampara. So Sakshat, I have heard this Guhya Shastram. And so, hey Rajan, Samsmritya, this punyam, what a punyam this is, and I am rejoicing, Rishyami, Muhuhu, again and again I am rejoicing. And then he says, what was specially fascinating, Sanjaya explains in the 77th shloka. He says, I was filled with Vismayaha, hey Mahan Rajan, when I saw Hare Rupam, Vishwarupa Darshanam. Now we all have our favorite shlokas, favorite chapters also. So now Sanjaya says that all-inclusive cosmic form showing the three periods of time, Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Lokas, Yugas, Jivas, Karmapalams, suns, moons, galaxies, everything was there and the form is actually formless, stretching to infinity. And everything I saw there, including Kurukshetra and all of us in that form, Vismayaha, Rishyami cha punah punaha, Adbhutam. So, he says that that was, the big picture I got to see. Now we come to the last shloka, 78th shloka of the longest chapter of the Gita. We will chant it. यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णः यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिः ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम. Once again. यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णः यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिः ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम. Again, this is a very popular shloka, but uttered by Sanjaya, and Sanjaya summarizes the whole Gita in this shloka. And in fact, some jnanis, they call this a Kalasha shloka. Remember the temple gopurams? So on top, you will have the kalasham placed on top of the gopur. So this is really the peak or summit shloka. What does it say? Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishna. So wherever there is Krishna, and who is Krishna? Yogeshwara. Who is Yogeshwara? Yoganam Ishwaraha. So we saw every chapter of the Gita is a yoga topic. So Krishna is a master of Sankhya, Karma, Bhakti, Dhyanam, Gunas, everything. So is a is a master of all the yogas discussed. Karma, Bhakti, Jnanam is a Yogeshwara. So where you find such a Gita Charya, Krishna, and Yatra Parthaha Dhanurdharaha, and where there is Arjuna. The name Partha refers to son of Pritha, Kunti. And Arjuna is a Dhanurdharaha. Dhanurdharaha means armed with the Gandiva, the bow. And the bow stands for Swadharma. Yeah? So where there is Ishvara, Yogeshwara Krishna, and where there is the Jiva who is surrendered and willing to offer the Swadharma, the man of perfect action. So when knowledge meets action, when Bhagavan Parameshwara meets the Jiveshwara, the Jiva, then what? Tatra, there you will find these four things in abundance. What are they? Shrihi, Vijayaha, Bhutihi, and Nitihi. Yatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutihi, Dhruva Netir Matir Mama. So Sanjaya is saying this is my understanding, my conclusion. Yeah, that wherever such a great guru you have and such a committed shishya you have, Arjuna is praised as a very sensitive, compassionate, intelligent, brave, courageous Pandava. So when the two meet, yeah, through the Samvada, then what will happen? There will be Shri. Shri means glory, greatness, Aishwaryam. And in fact, wherever Krishna is, Mahalakshmi will be there. No? So Devi Sampat, you can say, or you can even say Brahma Vidya, Shrihi. Then Vijayaha, victory. Now, victory may or may not be there in the materialistic sense. But we saw what is victory according to the Gita? Victory over the mind, victory over Ragadvesha, victory over, sense management, desire management. So many managements we saw, right? Time management, no? Victory over all of them. Then Bhutihi. Bhutihi means prosperity. Prosperity, wealth, and it can include your talents, your skills, and everything will be unfailing. Then finally, Nitihi. Nitihi means, yeah, Niti is justice, the good governance, Ramarajya. And all of them will be what? Dhruvaha. Remember Dhruva Nakshatram, how steady it is in the early morning? So, all these things, success, including health and prosperity, and, Aishwarya, glory, and Dharma will be there when these two meet. Knowledge meets with action. In fact, the last line says, can also stand for all the four Purusharthas. No? So when there is a devoted, committed student, and when there is also another devoted, committed teacher, then what is the result? Shrihi, Vijayaha, Bhutihi, and Nitihi will be the result. Now, we have come to the end of the Gita. And we know what happened in the end. Arjuna does perform his Swadharma, and then Sri Krishna assists. In fact, Sri Krishna really wins the war for the Pandavas. No? And we saw in the Dhyana Shloka today also, So tirna khalu pandavai rananadi kaivartaka keshavaha. So because Krishna, who stands for Dharma and Jnanam, was on the side of the Pandavas, they won. And the Dhyana Shloka says, the Pandavas could cross over this deadly river like Mahabharatam because Krishna, Keshava was the Kaivartakaha, the boat spurs. So with this shloka, Sanjay is also hinting to the blind king Dhritarashtra that outcome of the war. So indirectly hinting that the Kaurava clan, which stands for Adharma, will perish. And victory will be there only when there is dharma. Dharmo rakshita rakshati. So you see that how, the Bhagavad Gita is a wonderful blend of karma, bhakti, and jnanam. just like Prayag Kshetram. So we have Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati coming together. So the Gita is often called Shoka Moha Nivritti Grantha, which will remove the Shoka. It is in fact called as a panacea. It will cure anything and everything in life. Gandhiji was said to have had it on the bedside. Whenever any troubling situation was there, he would open the Gita randomly, and then that grace would come and some insight it would give. But again, it is not to be opened just randomly, but to be studied very seriously. Then it is also a Moksha Shastra, and it is Sarva Veda Sara Sangraha. It's the essence of the entire Vedas. That is why it said that who has the time to connect to all the Vedas and the Upanishads? So Gita Kartavya. May one just study the Gita well. And Chinmayananda said, you may have studied the Gita many times, but has the Gita gone through you? So has the Gita wisdom assimilated, digested by you so that you really follow the teachings also? Then the blessing will be there of Yogeshwaraha Krishna. So you see how this is supposed to be the one and only solution for all our challenges and adverse situations in life. The Gita, and why it is so popular. It's translated and taught and interpreted in so many different languages. But again, Adi Shankaracharya says Gita is Durvigneyaha. Durvigneya means it is not easy to understand. Yeah. Only repeated listening will make it more and more clear. We came across some tough passages in the Gita, 13th chapter. So it is not easy. So then, how to make it easy is to have the fourfold kripas. Ishvara kripa, Shastra kripa, Guru kripa, and Atma kripa. Which is the most important? Atma kripa. See, Ishvara kripa is abundantly there. Puja Swamiji will say, we were born into 7-star guest house of the world. The temperature is perfect. There is food, nourishing food, parents, everything is given to us, provided to us. So we have to enjoy as though this birth in the world is like being in a transit lounge. We came with nothing and we will not take anything from here except Papa Punyam. So let us enjoy the stay and live a meaningful life here. So it is Durvikneya means Ishvara Kripa is abundant. Ishvara will send us a Guru and the Guru will bring the Shastra. But Atma Kripa, if I do not have the grace of my own mind, if my mind will, drop the opportunities for Shravanam and then I'm not serious about it, I attend one class, miss 2 classes, not, then there will be a half clarity. No? So again, that is why Krishna has praised the serious student of Gita. And hence the 4 kripas are very, very important. So thus we see that, Bhagavad Gita is the shining jewel in the Itihasa called Mahabharatam, we know, composed by the great Veda Vyasacharya, who is called Vishala Buddhihi. We are going to celebrate Vyasa Purnima soon. Who was Vyasa? One Vishala Buddhihi. Vyasanath, the one who expanded everything. Yeah. And Vyasacharya composed the Mahabharatam, which has the shining jewel called Gita. And so we express our gratitude to the entire Guru Parampara and Vyasacharya Puja Swamiji for the flow of this Jnana Ganga. Om Tat Sat. Now we will chant the last line together, Om Tat Sat, and then Swasti Mantras. And finally, we'll do a Gita Arati. So the Arati song should be after the last chapter. You can check in your books. Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Moksha Sannyasa Yogo Nama Ashtadasho Dhyayaha. Om स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ